so, the weeks spent in Mineo brought back structure and stillness in my life. The quiet rhythm of doing absolutely nothing for 7 sunlit days was a balm my soul didn't know it needed. For years, my summers consisted of blurred of herd visits, running from one town to the next, trying to see every family member and friend scattered across the country. Rest was always an afterthought, sacrificed on the altar of obligation. Moving away was hard, and I've carried the weight of pure guilt of not spending enough time with my loved ones. This is something I've been trying to turn around. I've begun to see that I don't owe every corner of my summers to others, no matter how much I love them. It's not as if I haven't tried to bridge the distance. Over the years, I've poured so much into visiting home, flights booked, plans made, and time spent. It's not just expensive financially, it's also emotionally taxing. I'm not saying this for pity or to be ungrateful in any way, because I truly am that my family has the privilege to go every year. But it can get really frustrating when everyone home expects you to spend this much time with them when it feels like the same feelings are not given back, if that makes any sense. I understand how daunting it is to cross an ocean, but my understanding doesn't erase the ache of feeling overlooked. Luckily, my best friends and a few family members have taken the time to visit me in Canada, and those moments mean more to me than words can even express. I'm from northern France, where gray skies stretch on endlessly and the sun and warmth is a rare and fleeting guest. Sometimes all I long for is the simplicity of a week drenched in sunlight, a week where guilt has no place and time feels like it belongs solely to me. That's what this week in Mineo gave me. My mom's side of the family all reunited in Provence in a big Airbnb, where all we worried about was our next meal and the temperature outside. During this week, the days blended together, which for once was a good thing. A couple of days after I arrived, a simple yet fulfilling routine installed itself. Most days, I would wake up around 8:30, drawn to the quiet magic of the morning hours. There was something soothing about feeling the sun's gentle warmth as it climbed higher in the sky and breathing in the crisp, fragrant air that carried the promise of a peaceful day. I slipped into flowy summer clothes, some white sneakers, and didn't even bother to brush my hair. As most French families, the first meal of the day must consist of freshly baked bread from the local bakery. Luckily, the town was about a 30-minute walk away from where we were staying. I often joined my grandma and Kiko, the family mascot, up the steep hills of Mineo to buy an absurd amount of baguette that would most likely end up completely eaten by the end of the day. We do not mess with freshly baguettes from bakery in this family. No matter if about 4 or 7 baguettes, they were all devoured throughout the day. This was quite a workout every day, as Mineo sits on a little hill, but its beautiful architecture made up for it. Back at the house, I would make myself a simple yet satisfying breakfast, perfectly paired with a refreshing iced coffee. My morning plate often consisted of some sort of fruit, most of the time apricot because these are like my favorites, nuts, and a piece of fresh baguette with strawberry jam on top. I'd savor this little feast by the pool where the UV at this time of the day was decent enough to add color to my skin without completely burning it, which was, to be honest, quite often. When the heat became too much to handle, I'd slip into the cool, inviting water for a refreshing dip, the perfect reset before continuing my day. Afterwards, a refreshing shower was just what I needed to shake off the morning haze. My go-to outfit was usually a breezy summer dress, perfect for the temperatures that often soar to 35 degrees Celsius. Underneath, my bikini was a constant companion, always ready for a spontaneous dive into the pool. I kept my makeup routine as minimal as possible. a touch of cream blush to add a hint of color to my cheeks, a swipe of mascara to define my lashes, and a glossy lip oil that shimmered in the sunlight. The sun took care of the rest, painting my skin with its warm, golden glow. As for my hair, I let it down naturally, embracing its textured waves with just a dab of oil to tame any rebellious frizz. The hours between breakfast and lunch were most of the time dedicated to reading, playing with my cousin, and laying in the sun. Lunch was always a shared ritual, with each of us taking turns to cook for the group. My favorite meals, without questions, were the ones sizzling on the barbecue. There was something magical about the smoky scent of grilled meats and vegetables, mingling with the summer breeze, making every bite taste like sunshine itself. After eating for 3 people each, we'd set off on walks and hikes to explore more of the region, despite the sun's relentless rays beating down on us with each step. The heat didn't deter us. Instead, we let the long gravel roads, empty and winding, be our guide, carrying us towards hidden trails. The scenery was exceptional. Every path we took revealed a scene straight out of the painting, the rolling lavender fields blending into golden sunflower patches and vineyards. Provence in all its splendor felt like a dream, a place where the scenery was both breathtaking and soul-stirring. By the time we finished our hikes and the others had woken up from their naps, I would inevitably find myself diving into the cool, refreshing water for what felt like the third time that day. The pool became our gathering place, no matter what we were doing, whether lounging on deck chairs, dipping our feet into the water, or playfully pretending to be mermaids. Honestly, this was probably one of my favorite parts of the day. The sacred 2 hours of 4 p.m. dips, when the heat of the day would melt away, followed by the classic French tradition of apéro, where drinks were served and conversation flowed as easily as the rosé. Golden hour approached, a glass of wine, beer, or grenadine in a hand, along with a generous side of gossip, became absolutely mandatory. Some nights we'd take our drinks down to the pétanque court, while other nights we'd find ourselves drawn into card games. For dinner, usually around 8 or 9 p.m., as it is the French custom, we'd gather once again, and another team would take over the kitchen. One night, my dad and I decided to make crepes because really, what could be better than savoring an authentic crepe after a long day spent doing absolutely nothing? My dad makes, without a doubt, the best crepes. Thin, golden, and perfectly crispy at the edges, with just the right amount of softness in the center. As the sun went down, our nights would end with another kind of board game, a long conversation, or a reading session in the living room. It was the perfect way to end each day, surrounded by the comfort of those who made the experience unforgettable.